You guys were very much so in love with our Taco Bell mukbang, and you haters, we did this one for you too. If you couldn't tell from the spread, we are having Pizza Hut tonight.
Yes.
Shout out.
Shout out Pizza Hut. This is actually all my food right here. This is all for me. This plate is actually what I'm saving for them. But I guess we'll go through really quick. So we got buffalo wings, we got honey barbecue wings,
Yes.
we got white sauce pizza with chicken. That's like the chicken Alfredo.
Yeah.
We got 2 pepperonis, but one of them is stuffed crust. Damn, that stuffed crust already almost gone. And then we got sausage pizza, which nobody's touched yet.
It's coming.
But well, I stand corrected.
Boo. Just
Oh, you
touch.
just touched it. Okay. My germs.
Mine's whole thing.
But yeah, so we're gonna be eating some good ass pizza, which
Facts.
Pizza Hut is good pizza. If you want to argue with me, just do it in the comments
I was
so
gonna
we
say-
can boost the algorithm.
They're gonna say you guys couldn't afford
New
Chicago
York.
style.
Yeah. New York. Listen.
New York style's better than Chicago style.
No.
I've had deep dish.
I like
it's
New
good.
York style.
It's good, but like it's an
New
acquired
York,
taste.
there's
cool.
something about New York pizza.
It's the rats.
Next mukbang, we
Yeah.
gonna do 7-Eleven pizza.
I'm not trying to have the shits for
Crazy.
Hey, surprisingly-
hey, listen,
I'm not gonna lie, my kids love that shit.
7-Eleven pizza be busting.
And they just brought like
Or
an
we could do.
extreme
Hey,
pepperoni out.
let's really piss them off and do 7-Eleven chili cheese dogs.
Oh,
bro. You really trying to
taquitos.
kill us.
Taquitos. Yeah.
The taquitos I lived off of in college.
I'm not ashamed to say I like 7-Eleven food. And some of it is good, some of it's hit and miss. Their wings, some of them are hit and miss. But today we are going to be reading some spooky stories
Yep.
from Reddit and from online while we big our backs and enjoy this pizza.
I can
All
go
right?
first if you want me to, cause y'all eating.
Yeah, go ahead.
He came prepared this
I'm
time.
hungry.
Now listen, I know y'all was talking about me last week, cause I had that story that wasn't a story; it was a damn novel. I did my research this week, y'all. I'm ready.
Uh-oh.
Shout out to SpongeBob. No. Okay.
Boy, you supposed to have the story pulled up.
I can't moderate the show and have the story pulled up at the same time. Excuse me, ma'am. Mind your phone.
You right. I'm my business.
Do you even have your stories?
Yeah, I sure do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
It's a lie.
Off the dome.
She's like one time in band camp. Mind your business, girl. Stay on my phone. My girlfriend might text me. I don't want her to
Can
see
she
it.
come get your ass, please?
Tell her to bring more wings.
Yeah.
Okay. So, my story this week, or one of my stories, I got 2.
Oh.
My child has a strange vocabulary. My child had a very strange vocabulary growing up. It started when he was maybe 7 or 8. Crack and crunkle, schlee schlink, glub glub glub. I never thought much of it. I just kind of accepted that my child was a bit quirky. When people told me he was an oddball, I defended him. He's my special little son. That's all, I would say. Half defensively. Half defensively and half out of love. I'm sorry, y'all. This is funny. I read this earlier. I promise I did. The violent comics started when he was about 10. Stickman scenes of murder and torture. He loved the red pen more than any other color. But we all get angry. We all fantasize about destroying those who do us wrong, especially as a child, but even as an adult. So I let it slide under the radar. By 14, he wasn't using the strange words anymore or making violent material. I figured he had come out of whatever phase he was in. One afternoon, can y'all hear me? Mm-hmm. Okay. What? I'm sorry. One afternoon, where we at? We were sat down together on the sofa discussing past times when I casually mentioned the violent comics and the strange words he used to say and included in his art. Words? Yes, I said. Like crack and crunkle. What did that mean to you? I can't believe I never asked you. Oh, that word, he said, gently smiling. That's the sound the bones make when you're crushing them with your shoes.
Oh, okay.
I felt a lump in my throat, a familiar lump. I swiftly swallowed it and pressed him on another word. And what about Schlichtlink? His smile grew. That's the sound a body makes when you cut it open.
All right.
Feeling nauseous, I inquired about glub, glub, glub. His smile turned to a brief confusion as he tried to remember. Oh! That's the sound Cousin Ralph's throat made after ... I grabbed his hand. It's fine, darling. You don't have to tell me. That can be your little secret. His cousin Ralph was the same age as him when he died. It was an open case homicide that never retrieved a single suspect in over a decade. I looked deep in my son's eyes that day and reminded myself of the power of a child's imagination. But maybe that's the only way I can live with what I know deep down.
What in the fuck?
He did it. He's a serial killer.
My kid has a speech impediment, and I'm not asking nothing else from Tootie. Listen, I don't.
Glub, glub, glub.
I don't want to know. I don't.
Everybody say hi, George.
His pizza's really good. The first one was. We're already down one. We're down one pie.
One down, four to go.
So I guess
That-
I'll go next.
That's spooky. I hate
What?
the thought of my kids doing
What?
something
Are you ready?
spooky.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, boo.
I only have one slice of pizza. I'm already full, y'all. Like, when I tell y'all, I don't know why I got all this food.
Psychopath.
Okay, so this is on Reddit. It says, I was in middle school and my parents had a conference in Vegas. We stayed at the Rio. In the gift shop, they had a Voodoo doll kit. I begged and pleaded that it was the only thing I wanted from our trip, so they eventually bought it for me. I carried the book everywhere. It came with me to every casino. I was reading every single little detail, including things like magic takes time to travel, and the greater the emotion placed in your actions, the greater the results. So they legitimately bought them a Pop-It kit.
A
Okay.
Pop-It kit?
Yes. A voodoo doll,
I'm good,
Okay.
bro.
right? So I playfully plucked out a few of my mom's hair. We taped it to the top of the doll's head, and she and I played around with it before my parents told me that they were going out to get coffee. They were gone for hours. They needed an excuse to ditch me and have some adult fun. I don't blame them. But I was so frustrated that I couldn't find the remote. My Game Boy batteries were dead and I was bored. So in my frustration, I picked up the doll and chucked it across the very large hotel room. The doll hit the wall and landed on the bed. The next evening, we were out walking the strip and suddenly my mom trips. This is normal. She's clumsy. But she didn't just fall. She flew into the street into oncoming traffic. Whoa. I kid you not. It was like she... It's not funny. I kid you not. It was like she was picked up off of her feet and launched. Luckily, no cars hit her, but she did chip her patella, which is a bone in your kneecap. And the bone shard still floats around and irritates her knee to this day. I cried about how it was all my fault. The doll was packed up away and left alone. Series of coincidence, maybe, but I firmly believe the way she sailed through the air that night was not normal.
Yeah.
Lead
that's-
them voodoo dolls, lead them down. Ouija boards, just leave it
Well,
alone.
first and foremost, why would you buy something at the gift shop and then put your mom's real hair on it?
Because children suck.
Like, no, but
How you just gonna mix me
as,
up
as
like
a
that?
parent, why would you allow your child to pluck your hair and
Well,
then tape it to
They
a voodoo
did
doll?
edit. They edited for clarity. Like they replied back to it, right? So it's not that she plucked it from her mom's scalp. Like her mom's brush was laying around, and she got the hair from it, taped it. I mean, this is so 90s or 2000s
Oh,
coded.
yeah.
Because why are you leaving your kid in a hotel room?
Mind Freak was out.
Yeah, for sure. Probably even before then. But you know, you can't be playing with stuff. Sometimes,
It was early because Shorty said she had a Game Boy.
yeah, probably early 2000s.
Game Boy is crazy.
Yeah,
I never had a Game Boy.
No?
my brother did.
I wasn't that cool.
Hoop and stick?
I have another one that's like super short.
Okay.
Okay, so This is on a Reddit thread where what's your don't mess with voodoo story, right? And someone said, not quite voodoo, but I'm pagan as well as have, I cannot say this and I'm not going to butcher it. It is native descent.
Word up.
You're not saying that. I promise you're not.
That's Algonquin.
What is
Algonquin?
something? But see, I don't want to.
Algonquin.
So not quite voodoo. I'm pagan as well as half native, and I've dabbled in folk magic. I have gotten away from black magic as I got older, but I didn't stop until my third death curse.
What?
Yes.
Third?
First, I cursed a girl who stole everything I had inherited from my late father, who died from a sudden heart attack. Both her parents had sudden massive heart attacks the next week, and her dad died. I cursed the neighbor pedo twice. After the first time, he was arrested a week later, and his mother died of lung cancer despite having been perfectly healthy a few weeks before. The second time, he was shot in the chest by the father of some kid he touched. I know that it could just be a coincidence, but I also got really physically sick after each time, and to be honest, a lot of people blame me. I cursed 2 people 3 times. 3 people died 7 days after each. I don't curse people anymore. Damn. That's not funny. I don't know if they can see me just the neighborhood pedo twice. I'm sorry, that one kind of.
Why did it take 2 times?
Right.
No, she just kept doing it.
That's what I'm saying.
It was
But
the
why didn't
death
they arrest
curses,
him the
but
first time?
But this is how I interpreted this. They're death curses, but sometimes whenever you have that kind of karmic energy out, death is too nice for you. So, like, everybody around him kind of started driving like his mom. And then he got shot in the chest, and he just, sorry, Mom, I know she didn't do nothing. She's just a casualty of war. What you got?
Uh-oh.
So tonight I'm doing more urban legends because I like that stuff. Because it's always like based in some reality. So this first one, this guy says, the scariest one for me was when I was around 7 to 8 years old, and it was the Catman. He said he lived in a small suburb in Norway with farmland all around and forest beyond the fields. Legend has it that in the forest just across the nearest field, the Catman lived by himself in a hut he had built himself. You'd know if you got close to his hut because he had placed dead cats on stakes all around the perimeter of his dwelling. He supposedly snuck into our neighborhood at night, or our neighborhoods at night between 2 or 3 in the morning, hunting cats which he flayed, ate their flesh, and sold their skins. Excuse me. If you met him, you would instantly freeze and go insane because after eating all those cats, he no longer had human eyes, but cat eyes. Needless to say, we had several aborted missions to locate his hut in the woods. But when we got to the edge of the field, we had scared ourselves silly with the stories and ran back into the safety of suburban orderliness. Beware the Catman.
No, man. And see, that's on the list. Is that one of the things that are on the map of?
No, because this is Norway.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love going to other countries and hearing about their like scary cryptid shit. Because we are not like the scariest country. We're really not.
No.
What would you say is the scariest country?
Country?
Japan.
I was going to
Pretty
say
high up there.
Well,
somewhere in China.
scary how?
Okay, like their folklore, their paranormal. I got a top 3. I'm gonna tell you.
I would say like Philippines, maybe Japan. But like probably
Like
the,
Russia. The abominables.
Russia from like a lot of the like death camps and
Yeah. I would say for me, my top 3 is number 1, Africa as a continent.
yeah.
They got some pretty scary. Oh man, I don't know if I could say a top 3 because the Caribbean, man, they are some spooky mother. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would say Africa, the Caribbean, Japan, and Mexico. Mexico is a place, honey. Like it is severely haunted. They have their own cryptids, like Llorona.
But what are we talking about as far as scary is concerned? Like, are we talking like paranormal scary? Are we talking cryptid scary?
in general.
Are we talking slave encampment scary? Like, because there's different levels of scary.
Yeah.
I feel like as a whole, who got the best paranormal shit going on? Who got the littest folklore?
I feel like
and
it's
cryptid?
IT.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I feel like it's IT.
Yeah.
Like, what other places are you going where cows is turning into people and people turning into animals and all
And
types
being
of
brought
like,
back from the dead.
The U.S.
like
No.
Skinwalkers?
real stories
Yeah.
of zombies.
Yeah, I feel like Haiti is its own. That's its own category.
Yeah, that's just goat
did you-
status.
Yeah, did you see the TikTok of the guy that said the reason why he never went back to Haiti is because he watched a Ugan bring his sister back from the dead. She had been dead for like a week.
Whoa.
Or no, she was dead for longer than that. It's a TikTok, it's a series. It was so bad that he said, I'm not talking about this no more because I'm having really bad dreams and I was told to like be quiet, like they don't want me talking about it no more. So Haiti, yeah.
That's what I said. IT that place.
Nah,
They got a lot. It's a lot going. You got everything in IT. You got mermaids. You got everything.
I think that that probably that's why I said the Caribbean. Yeah, the Caribbean is very, very much so coded in.
I'd say like most Eastern Bloc countries are probably.
Yeah, man. But the United States has its own shit, but maybe I'm just biased because I'm from here, but they're not fucking with some of these countries. Like when it comes to scary, cryptid, the folklore.
Well, they've been around as countries way longer.
And you got to think like a lot of it's so sad because America, it's just so colonized. A lot of these cryptids that we hear about in other countries come like or hear about here, they come from other countries, and it's just like kind of
Yeah.
like so. Yeah. Okay.
My thing about the U.S. though is, like you said, people don't talk about that stuff in the U.S.
No, they don't.
They don't talk about
pray it away.
cryptids. Like the only cryptid they talk about is like, they be
Bigfoot.
like, oh, Bigfoot. Oh, Bigfoot, be scared. But they don't talk about like the plethora of other things. Like they don't talk about skinwalkers. They don't talk about.
Oh, but they do though. The natives, they
No, they do not. They do not
They
talk about
well,
it.
they don't talk about it, but it's a known thing. Like
Yeah.
it's almost like we don't talk about Bruno, but we know they exist and we know it's real.
But what I'm saying is the reason that we know so much about AT is because they tell their patakees.
Yeah, they do.
They tell people
everywhere else
what they
does.
experience. You know, these people aren't afraid to let people into their lives. In the United States, it's like everything is Area 51.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of alien, but that doesn't surprise me. I mean, do we really have a culture here? I don't feel like we do.
No.
I think
Taco
everything. Right. Come on now.
Which, by the way, if you didn't see that mukbang,
Yes.
go watch that one.
I have one, and I read this on my TikTok, but I just feel like these are true stories, and people are just sharing like their experiences. It says, my aunt passed away from cancer. She was a seamstress, so when we got home from the hospital to clear out her house, for context, it was a Muslim/Asian household where hundreds would come to mourn, so the furniture is removed to allow more floor space. One of the first things we needed to move was her giant industrial sewing machine. It was one of those big, heavy ones attached to the table that was also metal. It took 4 pretty huge, 6-foot-plus grown men to lift it and move it out of the living room. When they moved it, I was the one vacuuming that room, and I saw one of the rubber feet on the table slip off and a scrap of rubbish fall out of the leg. Thinking it was obviously just broken bits of rubber, I went over to clean it and realized it was a little parcel of black silk wrapped in cling film. Having no clue what it was, I loudly exclaimed and asked people to come look. Turns out it was a form of a curse known as Taviz. If I said it wrong, I'm sorry, y'all. In Islam. My cousin, son of the aunt who had died, said he had previously gone to see a sheikh. I think that's how you say it. That's an Islamic medium type, who told her that a curse had been hidden in her house that she would never find. You have to find them and dispose of them if you want to counteract. And the curse was a spell that someone had made so that she would never recover from her cancer. It's all well and good someone saying or doing those things, and whether you want to believe them or not, but the creepiest part of it were A, it took 4 huge men to move it, so nobody could have sneakily hidden it. B, it really would have never been found until she died, as no one would have ever moved her sewing machine that had been there from the day she moved in. The folklore about these curses is when people get into that stuff, they're basically selling their soul to a devil or jinn, and it's the dark entity that hides it for you. I read that on TikTok, or I think maybe it was in my drafts, but y'all got to be careful. Because why would anybody curse someone to not get better from something? People just be evil out here doing stuff. But what's scarier is that a spirit hid it. I mean, 4 huge grown men.
I was about to say, I do have some additional questions. Like, I have like 3 or 4 additional questions that I want to ask. All right, first and foremost,
How was your day?
an Asian Muslim household. It's definitely a different dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second question. Where have we seen these 6-foot Asian men?
No, Muslim people aren't small.
Yeah, but he said Asian Muslim, which means that they're Asian.
Yao Ming.
They just practice Islam. I've never seen a lot of 6-foot Asian men. I mean, we're talking about, Yao Ming, but it's not
But
a lot
it
of
doesn't
them.
have to be and I should have said it, correcting myself, not Muslim people. You know, Asia is very big. We don't know what kind of Asian that they are.
True.
And Yao Ming was tall as hell.
True.
So
Could have been all sumo wrestlers.
they could have been Indian Asian, you know, like, so you really don't know. That's more likely than, you know, and mourners come from all over. It doesn't just have to be,
Okay.
you know.
And then last question. You have something wrapped on the bottom of a sewing machine. A sewing machine that takes 4 people to move. How did they not see that?
No, it fell out the leg.
Oh, it was
So like,
inside
like
of it.
even if you look right here, it's a cap, right? Like that stops your floors from getting scraped.
And I was in there and it fell out. Okay.
Yeah, whenever they
I
picked
thought it was
it up,
like
it
wrapped
fell out.
around the bottom of the foot. And I'm like,
Yeah, because like they said, they wouldn't have known or they wouldn't have seen that ever because it's too heavy for a little old lady to move, you know. But people was weird. Jinns are absolutely a thing.
I believe it.
They are. And they come to destroy. And they're sent by a bunch of bald-headed, head-wrap-wearing haters.
George?
What was Shorty sewing?
You and I?
I was about to say,
She was a seamstress.
I'm just a headdress away.
No, she was a seamstress.
No, I get what you're saying, but what was she sewing? My grandma has been a seamstress my whole life. I've
don't
never
know.
seen a sewing machine that takes 4 people
Oh,
to
that's
lift.
industrial?
Like, that's crazy. That's a big sewing
May
machine.
I introduce you to World War II?
I was just about to say.
Yeah. It had to be
They're
mad old.
big. Yeah. And
It
they're
had to be
metal.
mad old.
Weren't they metal? Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's the ones that had the little belt on the end of it and was like,
probably.
Damn near was a lathe, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I have more, but I have a personal story.
whoa.
This just happened to me over the weekend.
Uh-oh.
So
Shout out to the museum.
have you guys heard of the Whaley House?
I had never heard of it.
So it is the oldest brick building in San Diego. It is a museum. It is a paranormal hotspot. It's been on Ghost Adventures. It's been, I think, on Ghost Hunters. I've been there before, but I was young and I wasn't really into it like I am now. So I went with my family. And during the daytime, it's like self-guided tours, but at nighttime, it's a guided tour. So we went at nighttime. So we did the guided tour. It wasn't expensive, but it wasn't long either. Tour was great. The guy we had, his name was Honey. He was super cool, super knowledgeable. There was a lot of things that happened in that house and around that house. So like the first room you enter is literally a courthouse, a courtroom. They were using it as the courthouse until they built the official one in San Diego. I'm hearing like shuffling and stuff throughout the house. No big. I'm like, okay, to be expected in a house that's over 100 years old. So we get into what they call the parlor room, and they're talking about the room. And I'm standing under this archway it's like 2 rooms, but it's really one. But there's an archway, so I'm sitting in between there, and I'm feeling like kind of like a warmness and like almost like you know when you rub on fabric for too long, except for the fabric wasn't touching this part of my neck. I'm like, okay. So he's going on through the tour, and then he goes, yeah. So this archway actually is where the gallows used to sit in San Diego.
Man.
There was a guy named Yankee Jim who was the last person to be executed there. Now, they told us that the average person's height back then was 5'6". Yankee Jim was, I think, 6'4". So the gallows, they went to hang him, and he fell, and his feet bounced off the floor. Normally, it takes you a couple of minutes to die by hanging.
Right.
It took him 2 hours. So everybody just sat there and watched him.
Wow.
So I'm standing underneath this archway. He goes, yeah, so people often feel their neck get warm or tight or sometimes even have marks. And that's said to be Yankee Jim.
Wow.
And I felt all of that.
That's crazy.
Now, I did tell him couldn't come home with me. And I don't think he followed me. But that was one of the things. Like, I'm still trying to make a TikTok about it. I filmed a bunch.
You just did, bud.
Well, that I did,
There you
yeah.
go.
Thanks. Shout out to George. But yeah, so I was in there and like I heard shuffling throughout the house. And granted, there were other tours going on, but it was like I'd be sitting. This will be in the video, but like I was sitting or standing in this doorway, and it's a hallway. It goes left and it goes right. Right is to the backyard. Left is to the front yard. What's in front of the door going to the front yard? You hear like shuffling, but you look. There's nobody there.
Yeah. Yeah, anywhere that was a courthouse is always, especially that far back. it's
Well, it
always
was a
gonna
gallows,
be-
and the
yeah.
guy goes, Thomas Whaley goes, I'm going to build my house there because it's cheap land. Nobody's going to want to build their house where they were executing people, which big brain financially,
right.
spiritually, not
Nah,
very big
that
brain.
was not a good idea. Thomas,
Yeah, a lot of tragedy happened. Like his daughter committed
Yeah.
herself in by shooting herself in the outhouse in the chest, and he carried her into that same parlor room where because she was depressed. She had been married for 2 months, and her husband was owed a lot of money, and he was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna run away from this." And just
now
left
they're
her.
looking, yeah.
And so she was. And George is gonna love this. They diagnosed her with a case of the melancholies, which was just
melancholies.
depression.
Yes.
But they're like, yeah, she has a bit of melancholy. Leave her out in the sun.
I prescribe you 3 lollipops.
A Valium.
No, that's insane.
And,
It reminds me of
Mukbang.
The Sixth Sense whenever they were in the gallows school.
Yep.
And he was like, they used to hang people here. And they were like, no, why would you say that? No, because I see them, bitch. That's why.
Oh,
But
shout out Pizza Hut.
yes, shout out.
Please sponsor
Pizza Hut. Right. Come on. Let's be friends. You want to read your story?
I do have one more.
Okay.
Let's hear it, Mr. Fresh. Mr. Fresh brought a good one to start with.
Yeah.
Mr. Fresh.
I was not expecting that.
You know, I learned a lot from last week.
Showtime.
I think someone's living in my barn.
Okay. I didn't know you had a bar, Mr. Fresh.
Poetic with it. I'll be like, this boy think we are.
In the
he
sunset
sounds
rides.
like a preschool
Yeah, she
teacher.
be
Like,
like-
gather around, class. We're gonna read a book.
She'd be like, stop pausing. We just want to hear the damn story. I'm like,
He's like, it's for dramatic effect.
listen, I need my dramatic effect. I want to read the same way I read it in my head.
You just mushroom stamp that. Oh my God. You're gonna make a mess in here, and I'm gonna get chewed out.
Where did you see that ranch go? I'll be sure to clean it up.
With his
It didn't go far on the table.
Whoa.
He looks scared as hell. He's like, please help.
Oh my God.
He hates ranch.
I hate ranch, and he's just over here smacking
He's
ranch
like
on pizza
scared
boxes.
of it. It's actually
What the
irrational.
hell?
Like, I wish. we
Now
could
I'm
go
not
out
eating
this.
none of the pizza on the table anymore. Thanks, George.
It's out and about.
It's like Joey Diaz said it
Loose.
best. He's like, fucking ranch. He's like, it smells like my
No,
balls.
he really has an irrational fear of ranch. He does not like it. He don't.
That's not ranch, though. See, that's what you could tell yourself.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's not ranch.
so
That definitely isn't ranch.
it's not ranch. It's a strange white substance.
It's even worse.
A little creamy.
That's even.
Who knows what it
Read
is?
the goddamn
Full of
story.
It's full of life.
We'll edit this out. It's like,
No, we ain't. This ain't in.
Why are you? These two together are troublemakers half the time, and you sprinkle George in there, and he's the instigator.
But why do I have to say it's
Who,
full
me?
of life? Wait a minute.
Who me? And then he comes in with that. Who me? Like he's innocent. Yes, you.
Right.
Still proven guilty.
So, my wife and I bought a house last year, and it came with a barn. The barn's roof caved in, the windows are smashed in, and the paint was faded and scratched red. We planned to renovate one day, but because all our money went towards the house, we can't afford it. We're putting our tools, pet supplies, and DIY creations inside. 2 days ago, while I was at work, my wife went into the barn to grab hay for our 2 guinea pigs and noticed a strange blanket folded neatly and placed into a corner. She took a picture and sent it to me. During my lunch break, I looked at the photo and told her that it wasn't me, but sorry, I need to pull it up, y'all. My bad. I got bad eyes. During my lunch break, it wasn't me, but I'm sure it came from the last owner, and we never realized. She was very clearly freaked out, so I promised I would check it out when I got home. After work, I gave the barn a full inspection and took some pictures so that the next time we went in there, we could compare the pictures in the current situation and see if anything was up. The next day, I was at work, and something similar happened to me. My wife texted me saying that now, next to the blanket, were a few empty cans of food. She sent me the pictures, and they were there. An empty can of corn, an empty can of beans, and one without the wrapper on the outside. The last one was still wet, meaning someone had been eating it recently. I told her to go to her mom's house and call the police so they could come back and check it out, so they could come by and check out the barn. Someone was living there. I wasn't scared since we didn't spend much time there, but I didn't love the idea of some person creeping around the house. It was important to me that they didn't arrest him, though. I wanted to find the person somewhere to stay. The police ended up finding nothing besides what we were already knew. And when I got home, I took some pictures and was going to compare them. When I pulled up the 2 sets of pictures on my computer, almost everything was the same, except the second picture, a man was smiling under the stairs that led to the loft, hunched over. I fell back into my seat in surprise, grabbed my wife, and ran to a hotel near our house. The police searched the house entirely and the barn and found nothing. We both slept in the hotel, holding each other close and praying the police would find the smiling man. We woke up not too long ago and opened the curtains to let some sun in the room. When I pushed those blinds away, the smiling man was outside our window wearing a police hat.
Wait a minute.
Damn. I could have solved that in 5 minutes. The Thule.
I don't think I would have. I didn't expect that one. So the policeman was the smiling man.
No.
Oh, wait.
No. The police were sent to investigate. When they opened up the hotel window, the smiling man was outside the window
Oh, I thought
wearing
they were
a
back
police
home.
hat.
Oh, my ADHD got me right there.
They was in a hotel. Smiling man followed them
It's a ghost.
and killed the police. Caught a popo hoe.
Wait a minute. I'm over here trying to digest this whole story, and I'm like, wait a minute. Wait, I don't get it.
Caught a
Wow.
popo hoe.
That was a good one.
I know.
It was full.
You're welcome.
You know what?
For your listening pleasures, y'all.
Anyways, do we have any more?
I think we can end there, and then we can do this quick other video really quick, and then knock it out since we're
Yeah, I
going to
got
be
an
gone for a
appointment
bit.
at 8:30. I know I'm going to be late.
Well, I was about to say I actually have to get
Okay.
going.
So we'll just
So-
wrap it then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Insane.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that mukbang. I did, because Pizza Hut is amazing. I love Pizza Hut. Pizza is like my family.
Yeah, you love pizza.
I love pizza.
That stuff crust
Top
was
three.
crusting.
Oh, yeah. I only have one because you guys were like,
Oh, I didn't know you.
my
wanted-
germs. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not upset at
My
all.
bad. And I only
Somebody
one.
had more than 2.
No, it was a small pizza or medium.
No, it should have
Had more than 2 what? Slices?
No stuffed crust. It was
I had
only
one. I had one
have
stuffed crust,
one on
and
my
it was
plate right
so fucking.
There's one
good.
person who hasn't
Can-
spoken up yet.
No, she had. Can we wrap this? Because
All right, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Go check out the Taco Bell one, and make sure you are subscribed, bell notification on, like this video, because we will be live again Tuesday nights,
Big fat.
5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
And just the FYI, Merry Christmas, y'all. Or
Merry-
whatever
Merry
you
Christmas.
celebrate.
Merry Christmas,
Feliz
Happy
Navidad,
Kwanzaa.
whatever y'all celebrate.
Celebrate it with some Pizza Hut. Not
Happy
sponsored yet.
Kwanzaa. Whatever.
yes.
Peace be
Bye-bye.
unto you. See you guys next time.